Hello, and a huge welcome to the Sovereign Free Life podcast. In today's episode, I will give you just my part of this amazing masterclass that we have put together in this amazing team called the Freedom Cascade. It's all about really daring to dream big, daring to walk through the self-sabotage and the negative self thoughts or self like thoughts that hold you back from actually dreaming big and making that possible. So this is just a little like glimpse of it. If you want to dive deeper into it, the replays are available. Whenever you're seeing this, you can go to our open the Scandinavia Wilds Facebook group, and the replays will be in there. And if you go through all of these days, the 3 days that I will be talking about now soon, that are in the group, just reach out to me. Go to monikajchelleberg.com, and I'm very happy if you use that link to book any calls or further information about this, because I have huge amounts of people reaching out, and that's a great thing. But I do want to make sure I work with those that are action takers, those that understand the things that we present in this masterclass, and the ones that are ready to put in the steps and the time, the energy to actually be active and to build this together with us. So here's a little glimpse. I will put the link to the group in the comments description of this video. And yeah, enjoy and hope to see you in person soon. Thank you. So today we want to show you um, we're going to talk a little bit about our stories and also about dreaming big, like daring to step into your greatness, and also about like the steps, like what are the real steps that we have taken? How can we actually, how is detox, how has that got to do with all of this? And then what have we seen during these years working with thousands of people around the world and in our different roles? What can stop you and block you from going there? And how can we actually solve that so that we can create a better world together? And we're also going to end with an exercise for you to get real about what is your big vision. And then we're going to, in the coming days, talk about the strategies to actually get you there as well. And tomorrow we have three beautiful ladies from our team that we're working with. They're going to talk about mindset and like eliminating all that kind of self-sabotage to actually real tools to get a solid mindset so that you can walk the path. Because what we've seen is most people, they know that they have something more to give. They have this beautiful uh, creative energy inside of them, but a lot of people, they don't dare to take the steps because of the mindset. So that's why we're going to focus on that tomorrow. And on Sunday, we're going to dive into the Sovereign Free Life model with like real solutions, real steps that we have taken, that we believe, at least I believe, is the model that checks the most boxes, and also can get you into thinking that if money wasn't a problem, if these blocks weren't a problem, what are you here to do? What would you do? So let me just see. Sorry, some people are having some problem getting in here. Um, yeah, I think the information should be in the Facebook group. So I hope otherwise they'll have to catch the replay. I really hope that everyone is getting in here. So what I would like to talk about is how I believe that there's so many people out there in survival mode instead of being a creator, being their full true selves. And why is that so important? Why is it so important that we empower ourselves and not limit ourselves on all these different levels? And what do I mean then? What levels am I talking about? I'm talking about your physical health, your physical reality, having the finances to do what you want to do, to have the freedom in this physical reality. And there's a lot of stigma around finances, around the physical things. It's very closely related to like a fear of death almost. Like it's a lot of tension, and there's a lot in society, people from the outside, you know, giving a lot of fear around that. So what I believe is that we need to empower our health and prevent, you know, our diseases from happening before they happen. And also think long term financially, not just get stuck in survival mode and putting out fires, because then we're not going to get to the long term. Like if we are thinking like, oh, we don't have time, I don't have money, I just need to make things work, then it's very hard to come to long-term goals. So what we want to present, we're going to talk more deeply about it on Sunday, is something that can be that long-term plan. So what happened to me was 5 years ago, I was stuck in this ordinary life of being a teacher, and as that is my profession, and I had 3 kids at home. I had my husband in a transport company. We had many employees. So we lived this, you know, on the outside. It was a beautiful life. We had a big villa with a pool. We had all the cars and the motorcycles and, you know, all of that. So we had kind of come to the end of what the society says that we should do. And we were so stressed out. We were not happy at all. I felt just like um yeah, I was feeling like I was in this glass cage, like this, you couldn't see the walls, but I just felt like I feel so stuck here because I had gone through a major health challenge. I had had Lyme's disease for around 5 years that gone undetected. So I'd even been paralyzed on my left side for a period of time. So I'd gone through this terrible health challenge, and I was so exhausted just trying to survive, like waking up at 6 in the morning, getting the kids to kindergarten, working sometimes until 5 o'clock in the evening, and then getting home, picking up the kids, getting home, just making dinner, putting them to bed. Like the most painful thing was watching my kids' life go by, and I felt like someone else was meeting them more than I was. And at the same time, like I said, I'd been in international organizations such as the New Earth Project and in democracy, like grassroots democracy movements, for a long, long time. And I knew I had so much more to give. Like I had studied international relations and human ecology, science theory. I had so many more things to contribute to this world. And I just felt like I was just getting things to work. And I had no long-term goal. We thought that this company we had was going to be our long-term goal, but it ended up just being too much. So I know a lot of people out there are feeling that, like they don't have the time, they don't have the resources, they're just trying to survive. And I completely know, I've been there, but I just kind of made a prayer, you know, when you just send out to the universe somehow, like, I need out, like, I need something else. I can't do this anymore. Like, I can't watch my kid's life go by, and I want to give back to the world. Like, I have this life. I want to do something with it. And then around 3 weeks later, Chanel, that's here on the call, she had a post show up on Facebook where she spoke about these things, how she never had to have a 9 to 5 job, and how she had the solution to be able to also travel where you want to be, like work from anywhere, and actually just be in
Your
your.
voice has disappeared, Maneka.
Oh, really? Can you hear me? Hello? Hello? Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, now it's fine.
Okay, sorry for that. Good. Yeah, just tell me. That's great. So, yes, I saw this post from Chanel. And when you have this intuitive feeling, like that's my way out, that's where I'm gonna go. So, and I know Chanel at the time, she had loads of people that were interested in what she was doing. So she had like hundreds of people. So I had to actually like, Chanel, I want to hear more. Come on, let me know what this is. Because I just felt somewhere. I didn't know everything, but I just felt that this is our way out. And finally, I got all the details, and I saw also as an entrepreneur, I'd been also having my own coaching business for around 10 years. I've been in the like that had the transport business, so I knew the numbers. I knew the like yeah, if you do invest, what is the return on investment? What are the agreements? Like what you have to fulfill? And I saw this opportunity, and both me and my husband, Christopher, we were just like, oh my God, what do we need to do? Like, get us all in, because we saw that we didn't have to get stuck in having employees, in having, lots of products or inventories or this and that. So there was a one-time investment, and then it's just expansion after that. So we just went all in, and it's the best decision I ever made because, and of course, in that process, you kind of meet your inner demons or inner like, oh my God, who do you think you are? Do you think you really can do this? And or family that doubt you, or it's always like that when you do something new and when you like embarking on a new path. And but the beautiful thing is also because, as most of you know, we're also working with this amazing, clean, hydrating, and living, healing water. And when I got this water into my system, my exhaustion, my being exhausted just went away in 3 weeks. And when you have been so sick, when your body is not functioning, when your brain is not functioning, you know, like you have such thankfulness when you actually regain that. So I was just like so thankful, and I just spoke from the heart to everyone, like, oh my God, everyone should know about this. And then just a couple of months later, I actually made a 1 year salary as a teacher in 1 month. And that's, when my husband also just like, I remember looking at this and we were just like, oh my God, is this happening? Like when you start to experience this, financial abundance, then it becomes real. Like what would you do with that? What will you experience? So I mean, we chose to go to the United States to reinvest in our business and meet some of the top people in the world that knew more about this, to educate ourselves. So we were there like the whole summer, which was a great experience. And after 1 year, I could quit my teacher's job because, in a way, I couldn't excuse myself for spending time on that, even though I was really passionate about the children. And like, I became a teacher because I love children. They're our future. They're so important. But I felt I couldn't do a good job in there. It was becoming like so much administration and so many regulations, and I felt like the time with the children was being taken away from me, and I couldn't do what I wanted to do as a teacher. And then this opportunity just grew and grew, and I could also see how, because for me it's important with meaning. That's what I do has a positive impact. And when I could see people like regaining their health fully, regaining their lives, their even, people with psychological problems getting completely well in a matter of weeks, and then people regaining their finances, starting to travel the world, or young people that would live in France or go to Mexico or travel around the world. And that it's such a fulfillment for me when you see something very real that makes these things happen for other people. So in the end, it's not just about like a business model. It's not just about the water. It's a part of a greater picture. And from there, quitting my teacher's job, it kind of expands and expands. Once you start to believe in yourself, and when I also got into this amazing community that we're part of, where we do a lot of work on getting clear on your why, getting clear on your vision, getting clear about, okay, how am I going to take care of my life physically, emotionally, mentally, being in my authentic expression, daring to speak my mind, daring to be myself. How do I, become an expression of um, consciousness in a way? It sounds big, but it is. We're all divine beings. We're all here for a purpose. That's what I believe. So, in this community with this amazing heart-centered, visionary people, I also got encouraged to, wow, step into that. So, when I quit my teacher's job, this kind of avalanche effect happened where I would meet lots of new people. It was in the beginning of everything happening around COVID. And as I've been engaged in freedom and our natural rights, like from very young age, you could see lots of these breaches happening of that. And oh, sorry, guys. And like in this kind of organic movement, the World Freedom Alliance was started in no, 1st of November 2020. Yes. And I believe like it wouldn't have happened if I hadn't had that full circle of support to step into my greatness, step into my self-belief, step into having the finances to actually have the time to put on those things that I'm passionate about, to then, be as much as I wanted with my kids, to be able to, follow these passions of mine, to build this international organization that reached millions of people that are in over 40 countries in the world. And I kind of have to pinch myself, when I'm talking about it, because, I could not have done that, stuck in my old life. It wasn't possible. And imagine so many of you here on this call being able to, come out of whatever is blocking you and do step into your greatness. What would happen then? And that's what I love to see out there. So after one more year, um, I could actually have my husband also quit his job. He was still doing the transport business. And I remember him like calling me. It's like, I can't do this any longer. Like he was so feeling so stuck there. But he'd actually gone down like in time. He wasn't working that much because we were, I was supporting with financially very, very, very well. And but it was especially for men, I feel some men at least, he was like very identified with his work. He was like, well, you have to have a real work, whatever that is. But in the end, he also through like COVID and everything went down, like the finances in the company were going down. So he couldn't excuse it either. So we actually, put that to rest. And he could actually he's been spending 3 years just healing in a way because we are living in many people are living in a very stressful situation where they either don't have their time, they don't have their health, they don't have the finances, they don't have the self-belief. And for my husband, he really spent 3 years like working out, taking saunas, like going introspective into himself, healing. And I'm so happy that I could give this to him. And actually today he's starting to work again. He's going back into the transport industry, but with a completely different mindset because he was in the end like, I want to do something. I really enjoy doing this. And it's instead of coming from fear, like this fear of survival, you can come from actually loving what you do, coming from a different space in your life. And I think we really don't have generally a society that can support us to do that, or to live from a space of love, from a space of service to the whole, from a space of doing things because you really want to and you love to do them. So yeah, that's like my story. And um, I think during these years, I've also coached and supported hundreds of other people to create this for themselves. And you kind of see once, like you've heard all these people, and you help them to get clear on, like, to dare to dream big, because at least from in Sweden, it's a lot of like thoughts like, oh, you should be happy if you have a job, or money don't grow on trees, or, who do you think you are? And the ones that, want too much, you will have nothing. Like, actually, this is in our mindset. Like, we have all these kind of blocks for ourselves. And I've seen a lot of people during the years, both, like, some succeed, some don't succeed, but I see that those that do succeed, they are the ones that are persistent in taking the steps. It's like we have this big vision. Also in the World Freedom Lines, what happened there was that in this amazing network across the world, it's actually a network of networks. It's like the New Earth Project. We worked with Children's Health Defense and Robert Kennedy, who we're so happy that he's, can have some influence there in the United States now. Like, we worked with lots of organizations around the world. And one of the tasks was, from the start, we decided to make a plan, a long-term plan, because it's the same thing here. If you have a long-term plan to kind of lean into, that's when you can have the long-term effect and influence. So we actually, during these years that we've been active, have made a World Freedom Alliance action plan where we've interviewed so many experts. We've talked to we have these grassroots democracy meetings. We talk to our core team that is the kind of heart of the World Freedom Lines of 30, 50 people around the world that are really doing the things on the ground, that have taken action, helped so many people out there. We asked them, like, what are the most important things that we can do long term to kind of really protect our freedoms and rights and create this better reality? And it's boiled down to three things. And you can hear this over and over in the conversations, and you probably heard it and felt it yourself as well. And the three things is, one, to protect and resist, like protect these natural fundamental rights and freedoms, because they are the basis of society. They are the basis of us as men and women living in sovereignty, meaning independence, of not having this negative influence. So this is also like weaved into what we're doing here, like creating that, being able to stand on your own two legs and say, no, thank you. I'm not gonna, go against my values for anything, like for my job or for my like family that don't think like me or whatever. So that's one thing. The second thing is to build the new, build what we want to see in the world. And this is actually what I'm in charge of in the World Freedom Alliance, where what we are doing right here and during these days is a huge part of that. Because if we want to build the new, we need the resources, we need our health, we need a community, we need to understand that we need clean air, clean water, clean food, we need security, and we need to create that ourselves. There's no one coming to rescue us. Like, during all these years also working with like building eco villages, or like having these great visions, a lot of people like me at that time, we were sitting around like waiting for investors, waiting for someone else, Like we have this crazy mindset that we need to wait for someone to give us orders or to solve problems for us. And you know what? In the end, it didn't happen. And I was so fed up with waiting. Like after maybe the fourth or fifth investor, like not, making it happen, I was like, you know what? I'm going to take charge of this myself. And that's what I've done. And that's where I'm right now in the process of building our eco village here. We're building health clinics, we're building education centers, empowering lots of people to be conscious entrepreneurs, to take charge of their own lives. So the last part is to take care of the individual, to take care, like I said, about your physical health, mental health, emotional health, but also be in connection with yourself, like detox on all these levels. Because if we don't take care of ourselves, we're not going to create like the beautiful world we want to live in. It consists of you and these beautiful beings around you. So if we can support ourselves um, on all these different ways, that's when we create another path in this reality. So, guys, that's what we're doing here. Like everything we're going to talk about during these 3 days are the like uniting all of you that are here. You are action takers. You are here with us to, um, learn more about what we do and how we do it, why we do it. So, yeah, that's what we are here to create together. And on Sunday, I'm going to talk about why this model that we're presenting here actually checks most boxes and takes care of most of these problems altogether. We have looked in so many ways, like we've looked deep into different financial models, different, ways to heal your emotions, to detox, to like all these different kinds of models. And it's kind of really boiled down to that so that you can just, ride on our experiences, our mistakes, what we have walked before you to pave a path so that you can actually walk on that as well and have like step by step. This is what we've found. This is our experience. This is how, like me and my family became financially free. This is how someone has healed from these diseases they were told that they were never going to heal. This is how people have, been able to spend time with their kids, been able to travel the world or give back in so many different ways. So, yes, thank you so much for listening.